Good day, everybody. This is the Hermit Modeler. We're coming at you with an old AMT Ertl issue of the 1957 Ford Fairlane 500. Probably one of the prettiest cars ever made. I just love those cars. But it's not going to be pretty when I'm done with it because it's going into the junkyard. I've already started working on it. I have sanded off the left front fender and off of the left door, as if somebody has purchased those pieces. I have started rusting it out on the quarter panels. This is the left, this is the right. The kit comes with a molded in trunk lid, but I've cut that out. And I have worked on rust on it, including roughing up that bottom, because those have a tendency to do that. And which really was frustrating, because you get where you could fix holes in it, but the bottom would be all rusted out and scraggly. And I actually did that on the right quarter panel, if you notice there, that I actually rusted it clear out to the bottom of the car. One thing about 57 Fords, and a lot of those cars that had the shrouded headlights, was that they rusted out bad over those headlights. And I'm showing some rust there. I may rust those out even more. But you can see some rust holes right there and right there. So when you are doing your 57 Ford, any of those cars with the shrouded headlights, hooded headlights, or whatever you call them, be sure and rust out those areas, because that was one of the first areas to rust out on those things, because they'd throw water up into that and it'd all collect up there and sit there and rust. The interior, I also have been working on rust through on it, and if you will notice here, there is rust. This is where the accelerator pedal is and where the foot would rest at. And cars really rusted out bad right in that area. And they also rust out in the 57 Fords, rust out bad in the rear wheel wells. One of the first places they rusted out. So that's one of the things that when you're doing these junkers like this, is do your research and look at those cars and see where they rusted out at. Some of the worst places that they would rust. Rocker panels were a huge place for those things to rust. And I may have to do that on this here. And when I do my rust, I do it from the back. If you can see there, without my shaking up too much there is, that's where I've scraped through from the back. I scrape it thin, and then just a couple, 3 places I let it come through. You can see that on that quarter panel maybe. There, now you can see it. And I don't get too worried about what it's going to look like at the back, because that's going to be hidden. But I let it come through on the front, and that's my rust through on that. That's the big thing. The engine, I will have the engine in. There'll be an oil pan go on that yet. That's as far as I'm going to build it. The rocker panels, that's going to be a challenge there to make that look decent. But I think that may be what I will do, because I don't want the valve covers on. I want to show that somebody's probably purchased those. So I'm going to have to do a little faking on that valve cut, on the valve train there. And we'll see what I come up with there. I'll probably just hide it with some leaves or something, junk on it or something like that. Speaking of junk, there'll be junk in the trunk lid. This trunk area, when you cut these things out, there are openings there for the exhaust and for the gas tank. And I'll have to fill those. The let's see, the wheel well. Yeah, that wheel well is going to be fine there, but I'll have to fill the rest in, because that'll be seen to some degree, because I can also throw a bunch of junk in there and just have the trunk lid half closed on a bunch of junk. So just things that you got to pay attention to when you're doing these junk cars is just different things that can trip you up like that there. I mean, you have your trunk lid open, and you have that open, and someone goes, "What's that?" Well, you don't want that foot stack coming at you, so fill those in. So once again, this is the Hermit Modeler coming at you with the 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 junk car video here. And I want to thank you for subscribing, and for those who haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe, and be sure and hit the like button and tell your friends, and oh, definitely ring that bell so that you get new episodes. This is the Hermit Modeler signing off. Thank you.